Hello students, this is a continuation of chapter 11 wrap-up. I'm going to jump back to number 5 on page 232. A country's government corruption is correlated to the gross domestic product per capita. This can be modeled by, and there's your equation right there, X equals corruption score, Y equals gross domestic product per capita in dollars. Is this model linear or exponential? Well, since I see this X up here, and it's a little x up there, so that's an exponent or a power, so I know it has to be exponential. Now, we will also need to find out if it is going to be positive exponential or negative exponential. But right now it says, according to the model, predict the GDP per capita of a country with a corruption score of 46, round to the nearest dollar. So corruption score is our X, so we're going to go ahead and put in 46 for our X value. So we say Y equals 1480 times 1.05 raised to the X, so that's going to be 46. Now, we need to remember our order of operations. It's PEMDAS, remember? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, then multiplication and division. So exponents is second. So we have to do this part first before we do multiplication. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to say 1.05. Now for exponent, this is the y to the x power. So I'm going to say y to the x 46. Now I need to put equals here before I continue. It may be a big old long ugly decimal. That's okay. We just take that exponent and we're going to multiply that by 1480. So we don't need to write this down or anything. We just go times 1480. Okay, so there's our answer there. And let me see what we need to round to. And I'm thinking to the nearest hundredth. So what would that be to the nearest hundredth? Can you read that okay? There's a lot of shadows going on here, but hopefully you could see that. There it is, right there. I just needed to find my right angle. So we're going to say that's 13,962 0.70. Okay. So, and I don't know as far as corruption. 13,962. Oh, they round to the nearest whole dollar. My bad. So we round that to the nearest whole dollar. So in dollar amount, it's 13,963. Because that 7 is 5 or above. So that's what you, the GDP per capita or gross domestic product. And what association is it? It is positive exponential. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to go on to number 7. Okay, you may need to pause the video. Right here, you're going to need to put in your values of X and Y into your graphing calculator. Okay, so here's your graphing calculator, and you want to go to Stat and Edit. Okay, I went ahead and put the numbers in there. You can pause the video while you put all the numbers in for X, all the numbers in for Y. So pause the video. Then we need to find out what A is. We can do that we go to Stat. Now we're going to go to Calc, and then we're going to go down to number 4, For linear regression line, enter. We make sure our first one is L1, enter. First one has to be L2. Now, if it doesn't happen to have L1 or L2, you have to push the second button, the blue one, and then you put either 1 for L1 all the way down here, or 2 for L2. Do you see L2 and L1 in the blue? If it's already there, you don't have to worry about it. Just put a bunch entering in, and it's going to calculate it. It tells us that A is negative 4.73. A, negative 4.736, so I'm going to round that to 4. B is 58.61, and again, I rounded that one as well. Make sure you know how to round correctly. I'm going to have to mark off if you don't round correctly when we do this on the test. Our equation is y equals negative 4.74x plus 58.61. Okay. What is our r? Negative 0.98. Do you see our r? Not the r squared, but we need to just the r. Negative 0.98. And according to our graph, I'm going to describe the correlation. And if you look on the strong, moderate, weak, negative, this is going to be strong, negative. Okay. Next, it says to graph the regression line. Okay, so if we're going to graph the regression line, our equation was y equals negative 4.74 x plus 58.61. So if it's 0, we go up to 58.61. And again, you're going to be estimating some of these points. And evidently, I can put a couple of XY values in here and just plot 2 or 3 points. Like if I put 20 in there. Actually, I don't want to put 20 in for X. We've already got 0, 58.61. Let's go 4, and then let's go 8. And it's like, I'll put the X in and see what Y value comes out, and I'll plot the point. Okay, so I go 4 times 4.74 negative equals plus 58.61. 39.65. I'm going to go ahead and round that up to 40. So 4 would be 40. Okay, and then I'm going to put 8 in there. 4.74 times 8, or I'm going to make it negative, plus 58.61. 20.69. I'm going to go ahead and put 21. So 8 and then 21 right there. Okay, so our line of regression basically goes like that. Okay. All right, students, you can get the rest of this. You rock.